Okay. Um, first of all, I just want to say thank you, God. Um, and sometimes as a target individual, because what's happening is obviously done systematically. They are breaking you down. The isolation doesn't help. Um, it's basically try to recreate a reality and a falsify reality, and try to make you accept this falsified reality. It's non-stop. And so as a target individual, one thing you gotta start is just you gotta love yourself. You truly have to. And you have to know yourself. Nobody's perfect, but know who you really are. There is no limit of how dumbed down those perps would make themselves be to get you to accept this false reality. Because let me just start with the beginning. What we are, what is target individual, and I know it can feel like anything else, but a mass government using human subjects as test subject, but that's what it is. The theatrics that you see, the interaction that you get, are all meant to kind of disorient you in so many ways. Your coworkers will partake, your whole ecosystem will be involved, and if you are somebody who's a target individual with the V2K, this is another level. And unfortunately, I'm dealing with V2K like so many others. It's not unique to me. There's test, there's testimonies of that, and that shows that this is not unique to me. Voice to skull is when you're now dealing with some of the more sophisticated technology that's specific to no the ability to for these entities to pipe in voices into your brain. I know it does sound like schizophrenic, but this is what it's supposed to sound like. But this is how this technology is sophisticated. And everything I say at this point has been said by others. The reason why I'm able to speak about it in this way is because I've been educated, and I've finally, like, well, I didn't finally, but I was able to hear people say the exact same thing, making me understanding, okay, well, this is really way beyond just me, right? It's much bigger than me. And as much as they will try to make it look like it is just about you, and you're just one of so many, and you just truly just another database in this development of weaponries and tactics. That's the reality. I'm not trying to minimize myself, but I have to see things for what they truly are. There's gonna be a lot of gimmickiness, a lot of theatrics. For me, you know, this is obviously a governmental-led program. The Department of Defense technology is being implemented onto this very sophisticated technology, weaponry, I should call it, at this point, because it's used to do bad things to us. And even when they do good things, it's meant to kind of like use you as a guinea pig. For example, one thing I've noticed with me is like my body is being destroyed. Some days I feel like, okay, well, I can feel these things going on. Today's I can feel my organs completely destroyed, and it's a matter of time before I move to the next part, like where you know. And for me, death is no longer something that I'm scared of. It's just like, I mean, I've seen perp die. You understand? Like, it's just like death is one thing we have in common. But they do this thing where they destroy my organs, especially my digestive organs or my like liver area, and then I feel like, oh my gosh, like some pain of some sort, or like some leakage of some sort, and then all of a sudden just feel better. I'm like, okay. So it seems like they do things to me and then fix them, like they fix what they've done to me, or make it less, not fix it, but less bad, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is you're truly utilized as a guinea pig, and this is a technology that unto us is used as a weapon mostly. And if it's not, it's like more of like they fix what they've, or they make better what they've already did, what they did themselves. Like they what they damage is what they fixing. You understand? It's not like they're making you a better person. They're just making you, they're fixing what they themselves damaged. Or at least that's what it feels like. I don't know if it's actually fixed, but it feels like you don't feel the same weird feeling that you were feeling before, like in regard of like the leakage of whatever's going on in your stomach or in your guts or in your liver, whatever, like organs that feel like you feeling sick from. And it feels like they're just prolonging some time, right? Which is funny because some of the things the thread they tell you is just like, it just make no sense. But let me just get back and make sure that I make this video as clear as I can, because it's easy to be disoriented and not be able to be as expressive as you want to be, because my mind right now is fatigued, and like I said, they're doing things to my body, and functionality is not great. On top of that, my brain and my thought process, my cognitive ability are being fried. But we are just test subject, and I'm not trying to minimize who we are, but governmental entities are using us as such, in utilizing technology that is so insanely sophisticated. They are destroying our body. And voice to skull, for me, is also utilized to then pipe in these voices. For example, I'm hearing this perp interacting with me. Nothing mistakeful about them. I'm telling you, it's the most unmistakable human being interacting with you, but trying to sound in this mystic way. Because this technology basically can pipe in voices. You can hear these individuals interacting with you, and they try to create this tonality to sound so like mistakeful, because they know that, okay, well, if I could interact with you with this technology that can pipe in those voices in your head directly, how would I sound like? So you have this like childlike individual sounding. When I mean childlike sound people, it's like individuals who try to sound this mistakeful. It's like, be strong, we're gonna kill you. Like sounding like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, it sounds like a kid trying to sound scary, right? And I understand what this person is trying to do. Is a person who understands that the fact that I'm able to project my voice into somebody's brain is already crazy enough. So when I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna try to use this mistake voice to sound so disgusting. And you see who's talking to you. I've seen it is the most unimpressive human beings partaking in this, the most unimpressive ones. But this empowers them. You can see that that's because when they interact with you, you can they create characters that are like childlike. It's like a child watching a movie. It's like, I want to sound scary and menacing and mistakeful at the same time. So they start using this voice like you go be strong. And you're just a weak low life, but yes, I'll be strong, and I ask God to give me strength. But when you deal with this V2K, not only this, people can pipe in those voices, but then the rewiring begins. The body destruction is one thing, but psychologically, it is also torturous the way they rewire our brain. They are forcing us to think in disgusting ways, and it's non-stop. You at that point you're no longer yourself. You are no longer yourself. You are at this point, every thought that you're going to experience, every reaction that you're going to experience is something that has been manipulated. What I've said that a million times, and I will continue to say that every day. Because these people, what they try to do is when they make you experience whatever thought, whatever reaction, they then try to gaslight you, to make you feel guilty for the manipulation they make you experience. And they do it in so many fashion, right? You have this reaction, and then let's just say you're at work, they send you a message, hey, can you do this and that? And it's supposed to like frighten you. It's like, oh my gosh, this person just saw this reaction, so oh my gosh, I'm nervous, I'm scared. That's what they try to do. It's a gaslighting method. Gaslighting is basically try to make somebody accept a false reality, right? So they make you have this experience, and then they try to scare you into accepting this. And this comes from all kind of people, and it's obvious that you're being manipulated this way, because what's happening is not happening only to you. Not only you know yourself, you're like, I will not experience that. I know who I am, right? But this is the same things that this person is saying too. I don't know this person. Why is this person saying the exact same thing as me? Matter of fact, they said that way before I even said that. I didn't even know that they were saying that, and I'm saying the same thing now, and then find out, oh, a long time ago, not even a long time ago, but a few years ago, this person was saying this thing. Oh, this year, this person is saying that. So you're validated in ways that's just surreal. So this, at this point, these people just dumb themselves down, right? Because as you're going to hear, what I'm saying now has been said. And sometimes like, oh, you're such a liar. It's like, yeah, I'm such a liar that I made this person lie. 5 years ago. 10 years ago. You see how much of a liar I am? I'm such a liar. I even said that before I knew this person was saying that. This is a level of lying that is so amazing. I'm such a liar that I've made people say the same thing. I'm such a liar that I influence these people. This sample of 1,000 people saying this, almost all of them saying the same thing. Wow. Man, this is another level of lying. My lying is so strong that it influences people from the past saying that. People that I don't know saying that. This is another level of lying. These people are clown. And I put that in their face. This purpose wants to stay inspired with the characters they've created. They want to stay in that logic, to stay in character mode. Listen, one thing I won't need to stay in is within reality. What I'm gonna experience is gonna be experienced because they're gonna manipulate me. There's nothing I can do. Right now, when I speak about these videos, I speak about them with understanding that it's something I speak about that no longer I can experience. I will never be experiencing this. I will never be me again. My experiences will always be manipulated, just like you heard. That's this experience that you're gonna hear me say, and the validation gonna hear it. This is what I'm gonna experience. Now it's funny how these people are still, like I put that in their face. I make it so obvious, and this is why I make so many of the same videos, to understand like you see how stupid you have to make yourself be. Please live this long life of embarrassment, because you know what I'm gonna do. Well, lately you guys have seen how I bring up the videos of other people saying the same thing, and I do that all the time. And then I just love the fact that I can do that in front of them, and it's like, okay, yes, I'm such a liar. Look at how I'm lying so much. And I know they say this thing to agitate me, but it's okay. I'm going to humiliate them the way I can, to make them understand that you did what you did, but you're going to get yours, and you're a clown. And you're a clown for these governmental entities. You're a disgusting low-life trash and a coward. Target individual, do not identify with these manipulations. You are being manipulated. You know who you are. I'm not saying you're perfect. I'm not perfect. I know my imperfection. But do not go with this manipulation. They have a very systematic tactic. That's why they feel stupid every time. Like, oh, you're a liar. You lie. Remember, you're a liar. And then you're like, okay, I lie so much that you're going to hear this person say the same thing. And I don't even need them to validate me, but it's such a great validation to have this trash working for these governmental entities. They become childish. And I think that's why, for me, at least, there's a lot of purpose that are very childlike minded, which I'm like, it makes sense. Who would dumb themselves down to this level? Children, or people on that childlike mode. Because what I'm gonna show is just so embarrassingly validating to me. So, for me, it's been a bubble of creating this false reality. They try to make me think that this is some group of these people who have nothing to do with these governmental entities that have been torturing women and children all around the world. But it's just a different type of feminist, avenging group of government people. So it's clown-like. There is nothing to do with the same thing that you hear everywhere around the world. That all the target individuals talk about, we're different. We're different because look at us. We wouldn't manipulate you like that. We observe it. And they start to use like language that don't try to mention the manipulation, but now we're mapping. Yes, you're mapping my brain to manipulate my brain. You've mapped my brain to manipulate my brain to experience what I'm experiencing today. They're literally capturing your brain signals, then change them and put it back in your brain. And then to present themselves, but look at how we're looking. We know we're mad. This is like your clown ass trash. Try to create a perception so you see them as they wouldn't be the ones. They're different. They wouldn't manipulate people. These other people will do it, but not us. Because we look like this. We're progressive. They're like this. We're doing this as a clown trash. Target individuals do not fall for any of the psyop or the facade. I don't need to describe the facade for me, but sometimes it's just disgusting. It's like, do you think, what makes you, so I should look at you because you are looking that way, and that's now it's not this program led by this governmental entity that's been working on how to alter the minds since the 60s. But because you're involved, it's different. It's this progressive, radical group of feminists that just like studying and mapping the brain and now manipulating the brain. It's like, no, you're the same people involved in a program where they've been trying, well, sorry, not even trying, this is a word that they forced me to say because this is technology that controls a human being. And this is technology that's been worked on for decades and decades and decades and decades. This legacy of that from DARPA and DOD entities and even CIA agencies on how to alter the mind and control a human being. It's no longer about like just, they are analyzing how to control a human being. This is how sophisticated it is. It's not about figuring somebody up. No, it's about figuring out how to manipulate a human being. Control, complete control. Psychologically and physically. Control of a human being. Basically being God. And then create these trickeries and psyops to try to make them believe. So do not identify with this nasty. Do not identify with any of this manipulation. You see how hard it is for me to express myself? It's because my brain is being manipulated. The fucking psyop of what they try to present themselves, excuse my language, is so disgusting. And I don't want to describe the way they should look at it, but there's a little dash of race kind of perception, right? And gender perception, and also kind of class, not like education level, and just kind of like look at how where we stand in politics. It's so much facade. And on top of that, I know who put me in this here, so it's just like comical in all different levels. It's just how the perception can be created to make you believe that obviously this is not this massive government that's been learning how to manipulate and alter the mind for decades, but it's just radical group of trash, femme fatale. Oh, so disgusting. Because not only it's obviously these governmental entities have been working on how to alter the mind for years, but the subjects, not only men but women and children, are being put in this program, and they're being destroyed. Matter of fact, this woman who literally see there's a lot of females involved in this program. It's like, oh no, they're not this kind of females, and and what they try to show, the kind of women they are, is a little, there's a little dash of something there that this disgusts me. But validation is there. Listen, I'm so thankful to God. I'm so thankful to God that everything has been shown to me. There's no way to circumvent the reality. We are manipulated. This technology is doing more than just mapping your brain in a sense of, and when they say mapping, it's like they try to just say they're observing. No, they map your brain to manipulate your brain. The end goal is to manipulate you, is to make you experience what they want you to experience. They create a design reaction they want you to experience, and it's disgusting, and it's meant to break you down, to drive you to death. This man here says it better.
Designed to interact with the human nervous system in order to remotely pick up on someone's neural network or EEG, and not only receive that and monitor it, but manipulate it and place it back into the victim to control their emotions or control their actions or bodily functions for that matter. The other more recent term we have for that is EEG heterodyning or EEG cloning. The difference between EEG heterodyning and EEG cloning would be, let's say, me remotely receiving your EEG and then duplicating it and putting that in another person to give them your same thoughts or feelings or physical reactions. EEG heterodyning would be receiving your EEG, manipulating it to put it back inside your head to give us a desired physical reaction or emotional reaction.
You hear that? This is what it's about. This is what this is really about when it comes to the psychological aspect of things. And as I was listening to that, they were making me imagine certain things. It's just it's hard to function. I mean, my brain went somewhere else as this goes. But listen to this man again. This bioethics.
I'm a medical doctor from Texas. As I understand the memorandum from the president, it's for you to determine if current legislation is adequate in protecting individuals and if there's any ongoing experimentation. In reviewing the common rule, it's very obvious that there's a lot of loopholes to informed consent. All of the horrific experiments you've mentioned, Willowbrook, MK Ultra, radiation experiments, mostly were done without informed consent. They were funded by the DoD and intelligence agencies, where I'm not even so sure you would know if there's an IRB, much less if an IRB is looking at informed consent. As a physician, relative to some of what you're hearing today in the community, we are seeing an alarming rate of complaints of use of electromagnetic weapons, microwave auditory effects, silent sound spectrum, EEG cloning, which has taken the lab out of the laboratory and into the home. Most of these, from the research that we reviewed, can be done remotely. It seems to be more weapons research than medical research. I personally corresponded with upwards of 1,500 victims, all complaining of identical complaints from every state in the nation of being exposed to electromagnetic radiation, non-ionizing radiation for the use of cognitive control or behavior control. I've submitted a paper to you, and there's a note paper submitted to.
So we give validations, but obviously this is what is happening to us. But I mean, people are saying the same things, and you have this clown try to present this facade to make you believe that this is anything but this massive government. But even like they have things like that.
In 1965, DARPA launched Project Pandora, which studied the possibility of of using microwave radiation to control human behavior. The project reportedly ended in 1969, but DARPA's investigation of how machines can affect and possibly control the brain continues to this day.
And they contract perps of all sort to try to gaslight you into thinking this is anything else, that they are just investigating your brain, and you're just like, this is the some of the perps living around. But now listen, they come in all shape and form. They can be dressed in a suit and everything else. But at the end of the day, it's just a psyop. And at the same time, it doesn't take much to do what they do. Right? This is some of the, and you're gonna hear a lot of targeting videos say that the neighbors are involved. Yes. It's perps that move around your place, or neighbors that become perps. And they, like, for me, what happens is, like, they manipulate me, and this, after the manipulation, they look at their phones and like, oh my gosh, we observed, we just saw what just happened. This perps is crazy because they obviously do more than that. Some of these perps tell me how they fuse my organs, like, oh, we just fused your body, we did this, we just fused these things in your organs, we destroyed this organ. And I'm like, I do believe it. And I see this technology is so sophisticated that things are done remotely. Like this man said, the lab is not in the lab anymore. Things are done remotely. That under our own roof of our places, they can do these things. So somebody like that can be destroying your organs. And when I mean somebody like that, I mean, like, look how they dress in just such a comfortable way. They just in comfort. This is a houseware. They just chilling at home, doing these horrible things to you, or wherever they are. And yes, I believe that they could be, like, these people are doing things to my body, but anybody can. And even though they're the one implementing whatever's happening to my body, it's this governmental entities program. They're just contracting these people to do these things. A child can be doing these things to me because it's that easy. You see this person, you see how they dress? It's comfortable. It's comfortable. It's not like where it's not like a like where it's like a stressful. No. Simple as that. But psychologically, they manipulate us too, and then they look at their phone and try to make you feel guilty for how you're experiencing these things that they manipulate you to experience. And like, no, we're just mapping, we're just using this, we're minding. No, you're mapping my brain to manipulate me to experience these things. Then they try to gaslight you, that, no, look at us, we're just different. For example, for me, it's just so disgusting. Let me just show, not too long ago, and this happens in so many versions. For me, the manipulation have been disgusting, but now unique to me. They force me to have sexual reactions, and especially toward children. A child of any age, they start forcing me to get stimulation, from the babies to the older kids. I don't even need to see much. Stimulation, boom. Matter of fact, right before I made this video, I was trying to prep the video, and I saw the hair and the forearm of a child. Stimulations. They're like, hair and forearms will now stimulate me. Stimulation. This, let me show you. This is what came up. And at the bottom here, I don't even want to, let me. You see this kid over there. Here. Stimulation. And they played, oh my gosh. Immediately when the stimulation happens, you have some perp of some sort try to make some, like, noise campaign or something. And they become more and more desperate for you to accept this thing. Some of the most disgusting is to know that some of these perps are parents, right? And sometimes what they want to do is to try to use the fact that they're parents to make you accept this manipulation. Oh my God, I'm a father, I'm a mother. Oh my God, oh, pay. So you start identifying with this manipulation, because that person being a parent negates the fact that they've been forcing people to have this reaction toward children. Part of this way to break people down. This is what this technology can do, and this is what they've been doing to target individual.
This technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal.
This is a target individual that was going through the list of things that a target individual can experience via this technology. These design reactions are meant to break you down. They force you to get these arousals or stimulation or even sensations of one way or another to torment you. Toward children, I did not make this up. Your sexual arousal, just like the emotion that men say, with this EEG cloning, EEG heroining, they can design the reaction they want you to have. And you heard what he said, this is more like a weapon development. They would make you experience something that is going to break you down. Right now, to interrupt me from saying that and being able to put this in words, there's a perp, just like I said in those pages, in this fashion, that makes noise campaign because they want to disorient you from being able to see things for what they are. They want you to identify with these manipulations. That is their job. In these comfortable ways that you've seen them wear, the way they dress, they're supposed to make you accepting of these reactions that they force people to have. This is their task. They're contracted by these governmental entities to do these things. They're nasty trash. As I was saying that, they'll try to, the things they say to disorient me, to deflect. I'll say that after I bring up the fact that this is the tactics they've been doing to torment people. Listen to this obvious, disgusting manipulation, which is disgusting, but that's what they do.
What is referred to as malodorants. This is the alteration of the smell sensation, so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my...
You just heard pedophilia type of torture being said. I mean, the validation that we have in regard of this is something else, something they do to other people, is validating. They have these tactics that is meant for you to experience something of pedophilia-centric level of torment. And they do that non-stop, forcing you to have sexual stimulation in ways that just meant to degrade you. Matter of fact, this let me see. As I'm saying that the perps, like I said, next door are doing whatever possible ways to try to interrupt me, and try to interrupt me from saying this thing. But listen to this woman talk about.
I thought, this is strange, and then afterwards that strange sensation continued. Then in that moment I realized that was imposed. So I thought, look at this losers, don't know how to put me down, and they are doing this. So I told them that I know what you are trying to do, and I started laughing. And then I said again out loud, you'll never take my will, ASS. So just to show them that I meant what I said, I kept playing with my dog, and even though that attacks continue, I don't let them get me. Today they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use of people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals.
I don't know if you heard it, as I was saying, that they're trying to create these thoughts, to create a battle. Because what this woman says is another target individual who said, and her testimony was in 2007. She says something about how she was being a target individual for so many years, but they start doing this new tactic of tormenting her, where they start making her feel some kind of sexual stimulations of some sort, some sexual arousals. Initially, starting off with the dog, her dog. As she was petting the dog, a stimulation started happening. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is what they're doing to me, to torment me, to break me down. Then those stimulations start being aimed toward people. And she mentioned young people, children, and homosexual. All this has been done to me too. The validations are just surreal. As much as they try to, in my brain, they try to make me think, I remember what you did as a kid. It's like they are manipulating my brain today to make me have reactions toward children. It's disgusting. Just like the others. This tactic, like I said, is not unique to me.
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind. But his thoughts are pitiful. Like this disgusting things. And you saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through my parents. I don't know. I don't care.
You heard the part when she says she acknowledges there's people in her surrounding doing these things to her. Her testimony was in 2000, I think, 11 or 14, between that time period. But it doesn't end here. Surveying, when asking questions to a bunch of target individuals who are saying they're dealing with V2K, this is what
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds, and vice versa.
Pedophilia type of tormenting is continuously applied onto us. The people who can manipulate your libido, your sexual arousals, utilize that in these disgusting ways. You're validated by that. And via V2K, which is this.
V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as just...
You understand? This same woman who's talking about the pedophilia type of torture talks about the V2K and describes it. Thought process, perceptions are manipulated, emotions are manipulated, and it's very perverted and disgusting. When I mean perverted, I'm not talking about how you think about a woman in a perverted way. No, we're talking about children. That's nasty. That's disgusting trashness that they do to us. And this is this woman here.
I also often see highly disturbing pornographic images and videos, including highly disturbing pedophilia type of images and videos when I close my eyes.
So at that point, you understand they have these tactics. They're meant to break you down in these pedophilia-centric ways. And by the way, it's funny when they like to say, listen, I've thought about women in very sexual ways. I'm not perfect. And I'm not going to be like, oh, no, I'm this. No. But I know if I'm my perversions, but they're just rewiring them toward children to break me down, to disturb me. Listen to this woman.
Mrs. Marshall?
Good afternoon. My name is Connie Marshall. I'm a former mayoral candidate from Louisville, Kentucky. I have never been involved in any criminal activity. I found a document in my bank account that said, problem with Kentucky government, check federal government paperwork and file before releasing information to anyone. I am an 8-year victim survivor of assaults by directed energy weapons. The torture I've experienced consists of body overheating, body trance-type state, being tracked by a drone or satellite, controlled dreams, sleep deprivation, V2K, which is voice to skull, projected sound, extreme muscle spasms, and extreme muscle cramps, being made to fall down, blue circles around the pupils of my eyes, and I'm here and you can look at them if you like. Low frequency noises in my home, high frequency noises in my home, sexual stimulation. Numerous electrical appliances in my home are destroyed. 4 computers, 2 fax machines, 7 telephones, 4 CD players, VCR, DVD players, electrical igniter switch on my furnace, washer and dryer, air conditioner. Also my car radio, CD player, and engine were destroyed. I am watched in my home 24 hours a day and followed around everywhere I go, though I do not have a criminal history. When I ran for mayor of my town, I was also attacked at debates and forums. My website is www.justiceforallcitizens.com. Thank you. And I would like to leave these flyers with you all as well.
You heard a lot of what she says. I experienced the same, and the thing I did is because sexual arousal is commonly manipulated to destroy, to disgust us. For me, it's just they do this nasty manipulation. They're like, no, but remember when you were a kid, and then talk about me in middle school, huh? It's like, this is what, remember what you did. I'm like, Jesus, I know who I am, and I know what will make me feel sexual arousals. And this now, these babies over there, these kids, it's disgusting. They try to they create these personas that they want you to identify with that I'll never identify with, because this is what they do. The pedophilia type of torture is what they commonly do. You hear this woman say, literally, they are forcing me to have this program perversion, and they're aiming this program perversion toward children, forcing me to have stimulations and sensations of that nature. You hear this woman saying the smell of baby powder, then they do this pedophilia type of torture, giving her stimulation while thinking about babies. This is the kind of nastiness that they do. You hear almost all target visuals are forced to see child porn in their mind. They're rewiring the thought process in disgusting ways. And these men said it very well. Let me see.
You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. Wiring their thought processes and brains. Rewiring their thought processes. And you can control them using neuro-linguistic programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. In theory, how do you? They want to see if they can manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to their death. And so you can call it a eugenics program. And they need to sample all cultures, language throughout the world to define their probability matrices of which tricks, techniques, deception works. So how do you control a brain? Most people don't believe that. Well, you can't control me. I have my own free will. There's no way you can get to my soul. Sorry, that's not true.
So we are being rewired. Then they want us to identify with these manipulations, and they create logics in your brain to try to make you acceptive of these manipulations. For me, it's been like, no, they bring up this dumb thing of a child impulsiveness that I did when I was a kid to try to make me acceptive of this manipulation today as an adult. So when I see kids and I'm forced to get this stimulation that they can manipulate me to experience with this EEG cloning or hair dyeing or this technology that can literally manipulate your emotions and reactions, then try to be like, don't, but remember the dumb thing, remember what you did as a child. And I was like, first of all, I'm not a child. I've been me long enough to know who I am, and I know that you have these common tactics of making people have this nasty reaction toward children. You're trying to gaslight me for how you manipulate me to experience this nastiness. And you do that not only to me, but to others. And this is what they use these perps, like this trans person said, that lives around you, who disorient you, who do whatever they can to get you to accept these manipulations, and tell you, now we mapped it, they are, this is, yes, they are validations that you guys do this manipulation, this manipulate people to have this reaction toward children. These people are trash, low life. And on top of that, they tell me how they're gonna frame me, saying that they are setting me up with these things, and they're gonna say that I did something to a child here, and then I'm gonna be framed and I'm gonna go to jail. These bad things are gonna happen to me because they're gonna frame me with a child. They're not adding, they're just adding to the validations. That's like, I'd rather die in hell than live my life doing what this trash do. As easy as it is, it's not a hard job. I mean, it is a little bit degrading, but it's not a hard job. But I'd rather die in this horrible hell. I'd rather die be burned than just live comfortably doing these nasty things to people, forcing people to have this nasty reaction, living life like trash that they are. Death comes to all of us. I'd rather die and live in a living hell than live in this living, degrading life of heaven. I guess they're pedophilia heaven. Because at the end of the day, we aren't going to live for long. So living hell, or living that kind of heaven that you, this trash live, I'd rather live in that living hell. It's going to be horrible. God give me strength for it. But this easy life, no, there's a price that comes with that's worse than living hell. Tell my target individuals, stay strong and do not identify with this manipulation.